Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and to another video. This week we are memory planning the week that was June 10th through to June 16th, and we are using a super old SPC Ultimate Mystery Kit. And of course, for anyone who may not know, the SPC Mystery Kits do actually come with a foil bundle that matches. So fortunately for me, I did have all of the foil I needed ready to go for this video. And surprisingly, I don't remember looking back how long it had been since I used an SPC kit, but because I was kind of planning sporadically all over the place, out of order and whatever in 2024, I was very surprised that this base didn't actually take me too long to put down. Like, you probably would have noticed that this video is quite short in comparison to my others, and I didn't actually edit it down that much at all. So there is that. But yeah, this kit is really pretty. This was the week of one of my best friend's birthdays. So she's a girl that I have known since I was 4.5 years old. We are still friends. Obviously, our friendship dynamic has changed a little in that, you know, we're both a lot older. We both have our own lives and partners and families and things like that. So we don't see each other as often as we probably would like to and probably should. But she's very much a part of my life. She was one of my bridesmaids. Yeah, like we have one of those relationships where, like, I might not see her for, I think I saw her earlier this year, again, for context, I'm doing this voiceover in 2025, as you guys know. Like, I'm so far behind. I'm doing this in 2025, so I have seen her earlier this year. I did see her in December. Unfortunately, her dad did pass away. So I've seen her like a couple of times in recent months, but prior to that, I had genuinely not seen her for, I think it was 7 years. 6 years? 6 years. But like, we can pick up like we just left off. Like, even though we hadn't seen each other for 6 years, we message each other and check in on each other and things like that. But just the way our lives are, like, we don't really hang out a lot. But she's one of those friends that literally I hadn't seen her for 6 years. And when I saw her again, it was like no time had passed. So that's the kind of relationship that we have. And it's really nice. But I decided to use this kit because it kind of gave me the vibes of like when her and I were, you know, 9, 10, and we used to like hang out. And, you know, we were born in 88, but we were raised in the 90s essentially. And this kit gives me such 90s vibes and just like the clip art. So like, when I was looking through everything here, granted this is very Americanized, but you know, the CD stacks, you've got the little Furby there, you've got the little boombox or like cassette CD player, you've got the Game Boy, the posters all over the bedroom wall. Like, I don't know, just looking at this, I'm like, 90s, this is going to be her birthday kit, and that's what I ran with. And I think it's a really fun kit. My sidebar, very basic this week. So I had the toolbox girl, so I put her there, and then I put two other full boxes in the sidebar, and that essentially filled up the sidebar, so I didn't have anything else to add there. But again, I don't mind how that looks. I originally thought that I might color block this, but I'm actually really scared to color block. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I feel like I will hate color blocking, or it will be like too much color contrasted in one section. I don't know, but I feel like color blocking just isn't for me. But then I also feel like I should at least give it a go, like once. But with that said, let's go ahead and skim it through these plans. I don't think much happened this week, so we'll try and get through things quite quickly because we don't have a lot of time. But on Monday the 10th, it was the King's birthday holiday. So for the King's birthday, we actually get that day off. Unfortunately, though, whilst we had the day off, we did not have the day off from IVF. So I had to go and get another blood test. And then, wow, I said nothing exciting. It was a bit of a roller coaster week. So it wasn't an exciting week, but it was a roller coaster week. So that was the blood test to confirm whether or not our transfer for our embryo worked and whether or not we were pregnant. And unfortunately, we did get the news after my blood test that I was not pregnant. So our first transfer was a miss. So that left us with, of the 3 frozen embryos, we only had 2 left because the one that we had transferred for our very first cycle. Did not take, unfortunately. There was no implant, there was no HCG or no like pregnancy hormone in my blood. So that was quite devastating. I was very upset at the time. Again, like fast forward months and months now. But yeah, it was quite devastating. I was very upset. So after work that day, I did in fact have a nap. I watched some form of TV show, but I haven't recorded it, so soz. And then my hubby and I that night, because we were off work, maybe I was off work, I don't know, but we watched The Strangers Chapter 1 at the movies, which was really nice because we used to go to the movies a lot and we kind of don't really do that a lot anymore, but most of that's because IVF puts your entire life on hold. And then after we watched that, we went to Betty's Burgers for dinner. On Tuesday morning, we had a vet appointment. I had for breakfast some coffee and some croissants. And then I called and left a message for the clinic because I needed to schedule a catch up with my specialist so that he could essentially talk us through like what happened in the cycle and why, you know, perhaps the implantation didn't happen, why we didn't get pregnant, that sort of stuff. He then called me back and obviously let me know that that wasn't the desired outcome for anyone. But unfortunately, these things do happen. Again, I did nap. I was just zonked out on hormones at this point. So I had a nap. Then I had to go and pick up my guinea pig from the vet. So he had a dental surgery this day. So basically, my husband will drop him first thing in the morning, and then I will go and pick him up later that day. Apologies for the dog. You guys are used to him at this point. So I picked him up, and then we watched Fear the Walking Dead. On Wednesday, I marked that I slept in. So I had these 3 days off. Okay, so I slept in. I watched YouTube. I watched Fear the Walking Dead with my husband when he got home. I did some laundry. I marked something with the Game Boy. I marked something else. And that is Wednesday. Thursday, I was back at work, so I put my working hours in there. This day I did have a support chat. So I've mentioned these before. It's basically when people at work have been trained in a new service or they've come back from work or something like that, and they basically get the opportunity to be supported in real time. So while they're doing processing tasks or call taking tasks, they can ask questions in like our MS Teams chat and we support them in real time. I then marked that I had an appeal. We do appeals at my job as well, and it was a frustrating one, so I felt quite drained. I marked that it was a cold day, that when I got home from work, I did walk, and then I marked a TV show. Again, I don't know whether this might have been How I Met Your Mother, because we started watching How I Met Your Mother for the transfer, like something lighthearted and funny. So I feel like that's How I Met Your Mother, and I hadn't marked it because I didn't have scripts initially. Again, I'm so sorry for my dog, but I just don't have it in me to do this voiceover again. Like I just don't. And then I marked that I played Dead by Daylight, which is a very rare occurrence these days. I can't recall the last time I actually played it. On Friday, I marked work. I marked that again, it was another cold day. I played some more Dead by Daylight. I then marked that I did a GP order, so a guinea pig order. I've got a little spot for a TV show there, which again, I'm assuming is How I Met Your Mother. I marked that we had, or at least I had, Chinese for dinner. Generally, when I get Chinese, my husband will get pizza from the pizza shop, which is like just up the road. But I did have Chinese for dinner. And then that night, my team played the Brisbane Broncos and we won 22 points to 12, which is always quite nice. Then on Saturday, the first thing that I marked at the top of the day there is that it was my friend Kirsten's birthday. I marked below that I was feeling lightheaded, so I was feeling a little bit off, a little bit not myself. And then despite that, we apparently went into the shops and I had Mad Mex for lunch. Yum. It's like one of my favorites. I think I've mentioned it before, but if you have Mad Mex near you, have it. If you're a GYG or a Guzman Y Gomez person, like can that and go to Mad Mex, because like what are you doing with your life if you're eating GYG over Mad Mex, honestly. But we did that. We did a grocery shop. I'd forgotten about this and I don't actually think I marked putting them in. But I finally put my wedding ring and my engagement ring in for cleaning. I think, again, I hadn't had them cleaned since before our wedding. Our wedding was at that point in time just shy of 6 years earlier. So very bad of me. So we finally decided to put them in and I got them cleaned. And then on this day, I did pick them up. On the way home from the shops, we did get McDonald's. And then that night, we watched Bad Boys. And then on Sunday, I marked that we had a lazy morning. I had some coffee, I did some cleaning and some laundry. So, just like the Sunday reset, Sunday chores. Then we had some TV time. I didn't explicitly mark what we watched. Again, it would have either just been like How I Met Your Mother, or we would have watched just like whatever was on TV at the time. And then the last thing that I marked on Sunday, very, very, very lazy day, I marked that I chilled with my boys, which is essentially, again, for anyone who hasn't heard me say this 10 billion and one times before, just means that my husband, myself, and my 2 dogs sat on the couch and basically did nothing for the entirety of the evening. So that is that. I really, really, like I said, I really, really like how this spread turned out. I think the pop of the pink with the darker colors is really, really nice. I think the grungy vibe is really fun. I also, which is very strange for me, but I'm going to try and do it more often now to get more out of the foil packs when I get them. But I actually used some of the SPC foil script from the bundle, whereas normally I would use like my planner face ones. But yeah, very contrasty compared to the week before's spread. But we love that. And I feel like I just said 300 times. So 5 cents for every that I just said. But that is it. In just a moment, I'm going to show you the completed spread. I didn't write anything in on this spread, so that's part of why I got through it a lot quicker than I normally would. But yeah, I will show you the kit in a minute, then I will show you the leftovers. And that is that. I hope you have enjoyed watching, and I will see you all very, very soon for another video. Bye!